Hey, it's still Saturday and I'm still working on laptops I purchased from eBay. So this is the second one, and the reason I'm doing this one second is because it's a 4 gig unit. And I was really excited about doing the 2.2 gig unit. Both of these machines, the one I did in the last video and this one, both these machines came in yesterday, so I got them both. And this one is listed as a 1.6 gigahertz 4 gig unit, 2015 inch, 13 inch MacBook Air. They did not include the SSD, as most people don't. In the future, when we get MacBooks, when the SSDs are soldered into all of them, they won't have a choice, and I won't have to buy SSDs, but I have to buy SSDs for lots of these. But it was a good price. I paid $180 after shipping. I paid about $200 for this, and it was an even better deal. And let me go over what happened to this one. So the first thing I do before I even power them on is just do some quick resistance checks. And one of the common failures, switch to double power there. Let me switch to single power. One of the common failures, sorry, I'm running my phone because my phone is right here and I have to go back here and run it. I still don't have camera gear. But one of the common failures on these, I don't see it every day. I see it maybe 3 or 4 times a month, maybe 5 times a month. Yeah, maybe 5 to 10 times a month, but not every day, okay? These tantalum capacitors will often short, and when they do, they blow this fuse, and then the board's dead. And that was the case on this one here. The board was really clean. I couldn't find any water damage. A quick inspection was like, wow, well cared for. The laptop itself, which is right over here, didn't have any dents. It's actually physically in nicer shape than the last one. It's minty. There's no water stains anywhere, hardly even dust. Compared to the last one, this one's pristine. And the problem was just that. This tantalum capacitor here was blown. You can see that there. Get more light on it. I'm going to switch to higher power so you get in closer. It's hard to tell because I really clean up flux when I do these. I don't like to leave any trace that I've ever worked on them. So this one was blown. You couldn't tell from the top, but it had a slight crack right here. And a lot of times when these blow, they will leave residue on the sides. And I noticed residue on both sides. And then that, of course, takes out, if I can scroll over here. Oh, there we go. That takes out this fuse, which, you know, I'm picky, so you can't tell I've changed it, but I've changed that fuse, and I changed this tantalum, and it booted right up. The best part about this board was that it was listed wrong. Every now and then I get lucky, and this is one of those getting lucky cases. If you look closely, let me spin this around. This one is also the big dog. This one was a 2.28 gig board as well. So I got really lucky on this one. It was listed as a 1.6 gig, 4 gig RAM machine, and it's actually a 2.2 gig, 8 gig RAM machine. So this board repaired, just the board's worth over $300 as it sets. So I'm starting to get a surplus of these 2.2 boards. I now have probably 5 of them. So I'll probably just leave this one in the machine. So I got lucky on that one, guys, and I got a repair, which wasn't difficult. I just had to replace a shorted cap, which also blew a resistor. And I don't even use thermal imaging for those anymore. When I find this thing that's shorted, I usually don't even have to inject power to find it. I've learned to look really, really close at all of these. And I will even, under the microscope, rock the board up on its side so I can look at the sides. And I can usually find the culprit without thermal imaging, and it's made me a lot faster. Even alcohol is faster than thermal imaging sometimes. When I use the thermal imager, I got to turn it on. I got to wait for it to cool down because it has a piezo effect chiller on the imager itself, so it takes 15 to 20 seconds just for the imager to reach the appropriate temperature before it fires up, and then it's real touchy. So thermal imaging has its place, but when you're in a hurry and it's down and dirty, finding these caps on this board does not require it at all. But this came out great. I got lucky. Just thought I'd share.